Yep, that was the tornadoes. Now look, these are hurricanes. The difference between a hurricane and a tornado is the vastity of it. That's number one. Number two, number one is the humongous size. See the difference? These are photos of hurricanes, not tornadoes. And all you see is the swirling. You don't see that big cone shape. Because these are so massive. They're so massive they have their own weather system. They develop their own weather systems, and they develop other tornadoes around it, because they make the weather right for tornadoes, and then they got the spinning air anyway because of the hurricane. But see, these are hurricanes. That's the difference between, see all that water? That's the difference between tornado and a hurricane. The mass size of it. And hurricanes are always developed over oceans. Only oceans. They only develop over ocean and then come to land later, after hours and hours of developing, and then they come to land. But that's the two major differences: the size of it and how it develops. It develops through water change, water temperature change, and where tornadoes develop through atmospheric changes. It's all atmospheric, tornado, and hurricane is all water and atmospheric that it creates, because it's around a large body of water, which is called the ocean. Hurricanes can only develop over oceans, not lakes, not like those lakes around Michigan where I live. A hurricane cannot develop over that because it's not enough water. An ocean, on the other hand, has enough water. And when ocean changes temperature, that's a lot bigger deal, and changes a lot more area, and that's how a hurricane is developed. And then it travels, just like a tornado does. But a hurricane can't be a hurricane without a body of an ocean, without water being the size of an ocean. So therefore, lakes cannot create a hurricane. Only a body of water as big as an ocean. See the difference between a tornado image and a hurricane image? They're totally separate. They're totally different. But the Fujita scale is the same, because that involves whatever wind pressure you have and damage it causes. It doesn't matter if it's a hurricane or a tornado. They're both wind and the damage. They're both do the same thing. Except the hurricane is much more massive and takes a lot more time to develop. Where a tornado can be a matter of minutes. Once a supercell, a thunderstorm supercell, it has to be a supercell to create a tornado. But once there's a supercell, then a tornado can create in a matter of minutes. It can create right down on top of you, wherever you're standing. And you might not even see it, because there probably won't be any debris at first. And a hurricane is a tropical storm until it becomes organized. It has to be an organized storm, just like a tornado has to be an organized storm from a supercell thunderstorm. Just like a tornado, the hurricane has to develop through a tropical storm and make itself organized, where all the winds are spinning one way, and then it's called a hurricane. A tropical storm is called a hurricane after the winds are organized and going in one direction. just like a tornado. It can't be a tornado until the winds are going all in one direction. And they start the winds start out horizontally on a tornado, and then they rotate, and get organized horizontally, and then go vertical, and then the vertical tornado that you see is a tornado. But it has to be organized. And it's not quite organized horizontally. It goes different directions still until it's like a top. Until it's like a top vertically. Then it's organized. Then it's a tornado. And that's what you see fall out of the sky when you see a tornado tail. And tornadoes come from the sky, and hurricanes come from the water, the ground. And then the atmospheric weather also has stuff to do with it, because a hurricane is so massive, it has its own weather system. It is. It's so massive. That's why you see these like this, and not like this. See, these are little dinky tails, so you can get it all in one picture. You know, they're just little dinky. Compared to a hurricane, these are dinky storms, and they don't last nowhere near as long as a hurricane does. But it takes a lot longer for a hurricane to develop, though, where a tornado can develop in minutes. Once there's a supercell thunderstorm. Once there's a supercell thunderstorm, it's just a matter of minutes that a tornado can form. Not always, though. Not always. Depends on up and down drafts. And that's kind of what Dr. Fujita proved on that plane crash. It's proven fact. There's no guesswork about that. The downdraft is what's going to make it a tornado or not. Going to make a supercell thunderstorm a tornado or not. That's called a downdraft.